today, class, we're going to be discussing Topic 4, Lesson 3. Special quotients. At the completion of this lesson, you should be able to, I can statement is I can divide by 1 and 0 and use these properties to solve real-world problems. Okay, so let's talk about dividing with special quotients. Any number divided into single parts or, in other words, divided by 1 has all of the parts in separate groups. So let's write that. It's called, and this is a star, important piece of information, it's called the identity property of multiplication. And an example written with a number sentence is just this: 8 divided into 1 each, into groups of 1, you are going to have 8 groups of 1 each. So writing this or stating it another way, any number divided by 1 is itself. And that's just an important thing you need to remember. Now also, and this is not, sorry about that. Let's look at it from a different perspective. 8 divided by 8. And what does that equal? If I have 8 parts and I put all the parts in separate groups, then I'm going to have 1. If I put 8 divided into 8, I'm going to have 1 in each group. Okay? And actually, I'm going to erase that and write it a little bit lower. So with that, we can say any number divided by itself is equal to 1 each, 1 in each group. Okay. So another way of saying that is all 8 items divided into 8 groups equals 1 in each group. Now these sound very easy, but they're concepts that are important for you to understand. It's a good idea in the classroom to just show this with manipulatives. So we can do that also tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to pause so that you can copy these notes. Okay, next we're going to talk about dividing with 0. So we talked about dividing by 1, which is the identity property. And now we're going to talk about dividing by 0, which is a very interesting thing. So let's ask ourselves a question. 8 times what number equals to 0? So 0 divided by 8. Oh wait, hold on. Erase that and go over here real quick. Let's talk about this. Okay, 8 times what number is equal to 0? What number could you multiply 8 by to get 0? Well, it would be 0. So 0 divided by 8 is going to give you 0. If you have 0 items and you try to put them into 8 empty boxes, you're going to get 0 items in each box. Now, in previous lessons, we wrote our division as a fraction. So let's write this. I have 0 items, and I'm putting them in 8 boxes. 0 divided by 8 is 0. So to write it another way, 0 divided by 8 equals 0. And these match up. But it's different when you put the 0 in the other space. You cannot use 0 as a divisor. So let's think about it this way. 0 times what number equals 8? Okay. There's no such number that I can multiply 0 times to get 8. It doesn't exist. So 8 divided by 0 is considered undefined. It is not a mathematical statement that makes any sense at all. To write it as a fraction, that would be 8 items that I'm putting into 0 groups. Well, if you have 8 items, you have at least one group already. So this is undefined, and I'll abbreviate that. You cannot do this. So you cannot have 0 as a divisor. To think about it another way, you cannot have 8 items put into 0 groups. It's not possible. So therefore, it is considered undefined. Okay? Okay, this is the end of the lesson, so you can finish your notes and we will talk about it in class.